A lot of artists they want to run from that responsibility. And they go, fuck it, I got money. I'm getting money. I don't give a fuck about my responsibility if I'm getting money. I'm just, I can't, I don't know. I got a soul.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to sleep at night. I like looking in the mirror, smiling, loving who I am. There's no voice in the back of my head go, yeah, you got a nice big house, but look at all the people who died, look at the people who you had to kill.
Right.
It's almost like being a fucking prostitute or a porn star. Like if I was a porn star, even if I made it money, I'd still be like, I suck a lot. There's a lot of jizz. A lot of jizz went into this house. Like there has to be some point where you got to feel some kind of guilt or something, unless you just an empty soul, bro.
I feel you, because I'm about to pop out a kid right now.
Yeah, and you're having a girl. That's why I asked you. I said, what you have? You know what you having?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, baby girl. And I got 2 girls, man. That shit changed my life. Like it changed the way I deal with women altogether.
Right.
Like I'm saying, like it deals the way I look at women in a whole nother way, because sometimes I meet a girl and I could almost tell when their father wasn't in their life, like right away, or even if they was in their life. Some being in your daughter's life don't just mean, doesn't mean you were there or weren't there. It's interact. I know guys girls who live with their dad, they just don't have no relationship with him.
Right.
And nigga goes to work and come home. There's no dynamic. I got friends like that. They're not even affectionate with the little girl. It's like, how you doing? Go, no man, go about my business. Hey, how you doing? Go about their business. And that's why I was like, shit. That's why a lot of these girls grow up with daddy issues. A lot of them go to any man that tells them they pretty, or a man with a nice car, and go, if you can get a girl because you got a nice car, then a nigga with a nicer car gonna come take the bitch. Yo, you got his shit nicer than yours. She gone, you know what I'm saying? So it's a duty, man. Congratulations, though, bro.
I appreciate it. But once like, now that I have this kid thing floating around in my head, it's like I listen to a lot of rap lyrics and feel like I would have a hard time justifying or explaining and contextualizing them to a kid, when some of them are just so like brazenly anti-woman, and there's like almost no way that you could paint a version of certain lyrics that would not be like horrifically like just the number one things that like you would not want a girl to believe about herself.
That's the WAP song. Like my daughter's mother is driving around with, and she goes, "It's the clean version." I said, "So how do you explain when she go, Mommy, what's wet and gushy?" How do you explain that to her?
Right.
Like, for this wet and good, like kids are smart. Like my daughter's 8 years old. Like she's not a fool. Like she understands. That's why I said just keep it. And you know what? It's urban until it gets so big where it's making so much money. They go, fuck it. It crossed over, and it crossed over to mainstream, and now you hear it on fucking K-pop station or Z100 because the shit is just it's like wildfire.
Right.
But the difference is like, and where we come from, we're more there's a stigma in rap with being real. Like, this is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not allowed to say, I'm not really a gangster. Was never really a drug dealer. This is just, we gotta be like, I keep it real. That's the shit with rap. I'm real. I'm a real nigga. This is real. So you can't tell a motherfucker in one sense is real and then another sense it's not real.
Right.
You can't, that's fucking contradiction.
But when you look at the WAP song, like,
I hate that fucking song, bro.
Okay, but like, we want to
And when girls be singing, they be like, "There's some whores in this house." Like, they talking about you, bitch.
But you're the
whore that's in this house.
You don't think that, like, don't you think that women should be, able to, like, we all love Foxy Brown, we all love Lil' Kim. It's basically women singing about their own sexuality.
Yeah,
don't think there's a place for that?
It is.
But maybe it shouldn't be so
right next to the porno,
right
next to in the sex shop. Exactly. It should not be marketed to little kids, to little girls. That's my whole argument with it. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to do that, but don't market that shit to children.
Right.
The same way they with cigarettes, when they used to put Superman on a Marlboro, and they're like, you can't do that. The Camel Man had to go,
right?
Oh, because it's a cartoon. They go, you don't fucking show a cartoon to somebody when you're marketing cigarettes,
right?
So all that shit, Superman used to be on a Marlboro trucks. they had to dead all of that.
Right.
Because the people raised hell about it. This is the same way we need to be raising hell about these little girls who are being introduced to this adult content. This shit is adult content.
Well, there's a lot of like messages that are being spread to kids that you might not even really think about. Like I have a friend who's got like a 4-year-old daughter, and she spends a lot of time looking at TikTok. And she said to him at one point, she goes, "I want to go on TikTok and watch the girls with the big booties."
That shit is crazy.
And he was just like, he confided about me about this. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to feel? He got into it with his baby mama about it. Crazy.
I had to show somebody something. I say, yo, go to your Instagram right now, or go to your phone or your what do you call it? The Google Play or your App Store. Mm-hmm. When you download Instagram, it's rated T for teen.
Okay.
It has a rating. So this shit was invented for kids. You know what it is. Mm-hmm. It's teens. So when you go and look on Instagram right now, it's a bunch of ass clapping. It's a bunch of shit that you look at this shit and go, this ain't for teens. Right. This should be rated mature. This is mature shit. So it should be marketed as this is not for kids. You should be able to be 21 or older to even be on this shit because all the shit that's on there. I told my daughter, delete that TikTok shit, delete that Instagram shit. I don't care. Yo, it's all the kids are doing it. Not you.
Yeah.
Not you,
I
Jack.
feel like my kid would have to be at least in their teens for me to even think about them having social media, because I don't want them to think. I just don't want them to have their worldview so shaped by everybody else's opinion of them and shit. You know?
Exactly. And these girls are thinking they're putting on these eyelashes that fucking stick out to here. Yeah, these fucking snuffleupagus.
When the fuck did that
looking
happen?
like snuffleupagus and
crazy
shit. Motherfuckers be like
now.
this. Yeah, I'm like, what? And it's a thing. And they pumping their lips up with shit, and they all look the same. And I go, do they not realize? And it's a mind fuck. It's almost like a girl that's bulimic and thinks she's fat when she's not, and she's eating and throwing up, and because it becomes a sickness. And that's what social media is doing. We have yet to see the after long-term effect of social media. We're gonna start to see it in about 10 years. We're starting to see it now, like you said, with these young girls who are looking at themselves like, my value is in how I look, not what's in here, not how smart I am. Right. Nobody brags about being smart on fucking Instagram or TikTok. They brag about how, like you said, how big the ass is.
If your kid's sole way that they judge themselves is shaped by the Explore page, then how are you going to convince your kid that it's important to go to college or learn to play an instrument or do anything that doesn't immediately provide you with this huge rush of people commenting and giving you their thoughts on it?
I made this thing, man. I made this song on my last album called Promise Ring with me and my daughter. And we just shot the video. I sent you a copy of the video. I don't know if you got a chance to check it.
That was fire, yeah.
But it's me, but it's more than a song. What it is actually her making me a promise. I gave her a little ring. And I want every father, even you, when your daughter's 8 years old or around that age, I want you to give her a promise ring and make her promise you that she's gonna, hold herself to a certain standard as a woman, as a female. Because with all this shit, the way it's coming, like I said, the music that they're out there, the way they represent it, the booty, like I'm all ass. My ass is more important than my brain. This is the shit that's being so with it. I want every father to see this video and go, damn, yo, I gotta play a bigger role in my kid's life because look what I'm up against. I'm up against society. I know you can't childproof the world, but I'm up against OnlyFans. Oh my gosh, she made how much for doing what? Sticking cucumbers in her butt? I can do that. Who needs to fucking go to college? All I gotta do is suck a cucumber and put it on OnlyFans, and I can make $60,000 a month.
But with the way that social media is just everything now, it feels like there's no divide between like adult content and just regular old content. The line has been so blurred. There's nobody in charge of it.
It's fucking up mankind. It's a free fall. That's why like I said, you don't want to be that fucking asshole dad either. Right. So you want to just teach them and let them understand and go, look, your value is not in your sexuality. Your value is in your brain and how smart you are and how you represent yourself. That's where your value comes in at, because nobody is teaching it. We grew up in a different era. We grew up, if a girl was a stripper, she didn't want you to know. She kept that shit a secret. Like, that was top fucking secret. Like, don't ever tell nobody you see me in here. Now it's kind of like,
oh yeah,
represent.
Your Instagram is an advertisement for your stripping career.
Exactly. The shit, and so what do we do when we're up against this? What do we do? Do we just sit there and go with the flow? Or do we be somebody who tries to change the dynamic? Especially when you have a voice, especially when you got, even if you got a small fan base, you never know, man. You might spark something in somebody that changes the outlook of people. But if you're gonna sit there and say, fuck it, everybody else is doing it, I'm gonna go with the flow.
But it's
pointless.
The thing that's happening to women in that regard right now, where they're sort of like having this message spread to them through music, is very much identical to the thing that happens to young boys, where they listen to rap music and they get that thing built into their head of you have to be tough, you have to be braggadocious, you have to move around in a way that maybe isn't terribly well thought out for the long term.
Same shit. That's the point. I've been that kid. And the beauty of hip hop, like I said, I was in it before the gangster shit, is when like the big word rappers was out, like the rappers who's extra smart. I went and wanted to learn those words. So I go pick up a dictionary and go, damn, what does he mean? What is a metaphor? What does psychological mean? What is this? So I was actually learning from the shit. It was teaching me how to read, reading comprehension. It had value in it. It had value, actually. And it's like we just stripped it of all of that and made it a fashion show, made it about who got the most money, who fucked the most girls, who got the most meaningless fucking jewelry. And it became something that was so beautiful and powerful, and it's like and now it's like, okay, let's strip this fucking music, of this culture, of all its power, and just say throw it out there and make it a free for all. And now we watching all these kids overdose on drugs. I could when I grew up, rappers wasn't overdosing on fucking drugs. I could name like 10 rappers that overdosed, bro, on fucking drugs. I could name like 10 rappers that overdosed and another 10 that got the little pen before he, you know what I'm saying, before he kicked it.
I listen to rap records from the 90s and be like 3 6 Mafia, like listening to it as an adult. I'm like, they were talking about doing coke. Yeah. But I didn't know at that time. There's other rappers as well that had the same experience where it was much more coded and you didn't really know that they were talking about partying to such an extreme.
But you think about Melly Mel, he was talking about coke too on White Lines, but he was talking about the danger of it.
Right.
He was talking about how this shit's gonna destroy your life. You
right.
know what I mean?
But you were doing that too, like you where you would have like during your mixtape run like hard ass gangster songs, but then you'd also
you're gonna be fucked if you take this route. Yeah, that's
you
what
would slip it in there for sure. So it was like there were signs that you were trying to better yourself and have a certain message early on.
It's just that I was in the middle of it. I was in the penitentiaries because I started getting locked up when I'm 12 years old, 13 years old.
Right.
I started going, so I'm growing. I'm around a bunch of other fucking kids like me, hooligans, kids who this shit was fun to us to be cutting and stabbing each other and doing shit like that. This shit became like a normal thing until I realized this shit is not normal. We're dysfunctional. And it took me to really be around some normal kids to be like, damn. It's not a problem if you look at me like, fuck you looking at, man. Like, damn, bro, like, nice shirt, bro. Fuck, like, chill out. Like, relax. I like your shirt. Fuck you looking at, yo. You got a problem? Like, that's when we develop these mentalities that are not normal.